Hi everyone, I'm using the lazy method again. I fed the starter on Sunday, which was 3 days ago. After I fed it, I let it rise at the room temperature and I put it in the fridge after it doubled. So it means this starter is 3 days old. I didn't refresh it, I'm using it straight out of the fridge. It's cold. I just want to show you, even if your starter has passed its peak, as long as it's alive, your bread will turn out fine. And I always say that you should never look at the clock. You should always look at the dough. And I firmly believe that the bulk fermentation is the most important process. So don't guess it. Please use straight-sided clear container or measuring jug like I'm using here. My dough temperature is typically around 25-26 degrees Celsius. So I normally aim for about 50% rise to 60% rise. If dough was cooler, I would push for more than 60%. And if the dough is warmer, I will stop at 50% rise. I had a problem with underproofing, never overproofing, always underproofing, because dough will give you a false sort of indication, bubbles and whatnot. It's hard to see when it's sitting in a bowl like this, right? How can you tell if it's 1.5 times bigger? Because, it's smaller here, goes wider. Okay. Okay, so it's 25 minutes. Okay. This flour has 12.5% protein, which is a little lower than the one I usually use, which is about 13%. So I started off with 350 grams of water. So it's for 500 grams of flour, meaning 70% hydration. I was going to add a bit more water when I was adding the salt if the dough was dry. But at this stage, it feels really extensible and soft. I don't think it needs any more water. So. So I do this until I don't feel salt granules with my fingertips. The gluten will develop further during the bulk fermentation. And also I will do a couple of coilfuls, so that will help develop the structure and strengthen the dough. Still a little bit there. It's only been a few minutes anyway, right? Yeah, that should be fine. And when you're doing this, you feel the dough start rising. It's not like physically rising, but it holds the structure, so it stays higher, so feels like it's rising. I don't know if it makes sense. And I'll put this in here. Okay, you push it down. So that's the starting line. So 1.5 times 700 is 1050. So a bit over 1 liter. And there is a line to say 1 liter. 26.7 degrees Celsius, 80 degree Fahrenheit. So it's not, quite higher, but it's not. So I'm looking at between 50%, 60% rise. So it definitely has to go over 1 liter mark, So if you cut it before that, I mean, some people do, but I don't like it. I just want it to be a bit more fully proofed. Okay. This is my first coil fold. I'm doing it after 2 hours, just because I was out. And I can see it already has a lot of gas. So it's probably better you do it earlier, because by doing this, I'm basically degassing it. I have proofed the dough without doing any coil folds, and the bread came out okay. But I think it's better if you can, if you are home, to give it coil fold. This is a second coil fold, and after this I'll leave the dough to develop more gas. I won't touch it. This is the last and the second coil fold. It's a lovely silky dough. Dough has risen 60%. I pre-shape it, shape it, and bake it tomorrow. So that was yesterday. So this morning, I scored it and baked it at 240 degrees Celsius oven for 25 minutes. Both oven and the pan were preheated for 30 minutes. And I turned down the temperature to 220 degrees Celsius and baked further 15 minutes. If you are interested in decorative scoring, please check out my other YouTube videos, and also I have tons of reels on my Instagram. And yes, I will show you what the crumb looks like. It's got nice blisters, the bottom isn't burnt, it's got nice color of contrast. Because this flour was Caputo Pizzeria 00, it's specifically for Napolitan style pizza, so the crumb is chewy and lovely. Thanks for watching. It's Nim. Bye.